Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm going to try something different today, and we'll see if you guys like it. If you don't, no big deal. But if you do, maybe it's something I can do in the near future and keep content coming back to the music scene that I love so much. All right, let's see what we can do. Capture Kentucky's been around for a while now, so you've likely read an article or found some photos that have been taken, and you found your way to the website. For that, thank you. Seriously, it's humbling. It's amazing. It's awesome. So as I try to get this YouTube channel going a little bit more, it allows me to work at my own pace, right? So what I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to try and do a concert review on video. Now, that's not anything I've ever tried to do, and generally I'm someone that's kind of calculated, right? Like, I have a story that I want to tell, and I want to narrow it down, and I want to make it sound like I'm talking to you. So now that I'm talking to you, let's see what we can do together. All right, as I've often said with Capture Kentucky, if a Kentucky artist is playing in their hometown, right, or if they're playing in their home state, if they've outgrown their region, don't miss those shows. Those will not only be special for you, but they're very special for the artist. They want to be on a stage in their hometown or their home state, surrounded by friends, by family, by their peers. They want that love, right? That's all they ever really ask. It's like, okay, I'm giving you my heart and soul. Here's this music. I'm bearing it. I'm bearing my soul completely to you. You enjoy, you listen, you digest what I've said. And they love when someone sings the words back to them, or someone tells them that their song means more to them than they ever imagined. So that being said, on stage in home state or home city, town, wherever an artist may be from, those are very special, and you should never miss one. I was actually going to let one slip by that I knew I shouldn't miss, but I was going to. Thankfully, my son decided that he wanted to get me an early Christmas present, so he picked up two tickets to see Mr. Sturgill Simpson at Rupp Arena in Lexington. Now, that's awesome, right? Like, my son knows what a hometown show means to me as well, and he knows how much I love Sturgill. So it's a win-win situation for me, and I could not be happier than to tell you what happened, because you're not ready. If you haven't seen this tour yet, you're in for a treat. You are in for a big, big treat. All right, you're an artist playing one of the biggest stages in your home state. How do you come out? Do you take in local history? Do you digest what's happened around you? Do you invest in the building that you're in? Well, old Stu, Sturgill Simpson and his band, they did just that. They come out to the music that the Kentucky Wildcats come out to, which, if you're unaware, Rupp Arena is where those said Kentucky Wildcats play. Miles Miller led the charge onto the stage first, wearing a Kentucky jersey with Miller on the back, number 41, which happened to be Mark Pope, who's their new coach. Mark Pope's number when he played in, what, 96? Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Miles took the stage first. The band followed, and John Sturgill Simpson, he walked up on stage, and he walked in. He plugged in his guitar, and he could probably get charged for 12,000 counts of murder. because the band and the music absolutely obliterated everybody inside Rupp Arena. I don't know how many people were on my Facebook feed, my Instagram, my Twitter, all that, and all of the comments are like, holy, Stu just came home and showed everybody why he is a GOAT. He is a GOAT. So let's talk about what I'm talking about, okay? Let's dive a little bit deeper, and let's talk about moments that I saw that really meant a lot to me that I think everyone else did as well. So let's try that. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can come up with. And if you like this kind of content, like me doing a concert review, which I've never really done video of, let me know. Go down below, leave me a comment. Say, this is stupid. Say, I was there, I agree. Say, do more. You let me know. Because I'm here as a part of this scene and I want to do what I can. I've always tried to do what I can, but I want to do more than I've been able to do for the last couple of years. So it's very important. Counting on you. Counting on you. As the band began the set, I noticed on the big board that was beside me, Mr. Simpson also had on a Kentucky jersey. He had a jacket over it. But I was able to kind of peek on that and see what I could find, and I'm pretty sure the number on his custom jersey was 78. That was the year, one of the years that Kentucky won the national championship, and if I'm not mistaken, the birth year of one John Sturgill Simpson. So how do they come about, those jerseys? Well, Rupp Arena likes to take care of folks when they come through, but the basketball team, Coach Pope and the team, had invited the guys out to watch them practice earlier today at the Joe Kraft Center. And when Miles and Sturgill specifically were talking about Kentucky, the smiles on their faces said everything. It was, you could tell the joy that they had gotten out of the experience that they'd had that day. And that's important. So you may say, why is that important? It's really simple. When Sturgill's having fun, so is everyone else, okay? I have never seen this version of Sturgill Simpson. He was playful. He was self-deprecating in some of his humor, and he always gets in trouble when he opens his mouth, so all he can do is say, woo! They started the show off with Railroad to Sin, which everybody there was happy to hear, singing along, right? Then they moved into a slower song, The Promise, right? And then the first cover came, which is Wider Shade of Pale. Now, Wider Shade of Pale was originally put out by, I don't know how you say it, Procol Harum. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sure I mispronounced it. Later on, even Zakk Wylde, and I don't know if it was a Zakk Wylde solo album or a Black Label Society album. He released the song as well. So it's a song that I've had in my life, my entire existence, and I'm sure Sturgill's existence. So that is a song that is straight up 70s. And in my opinion, the new album that Sturgill has given us, it's straight up 70s. It's old classic country. Not in the sense of George Jones, not in the sense of Garth Brooks, right? It's 70s, it's Exile. When Exile left disco, when they were a rock band in Kentucky, they became disco and had a big hit with Kiss You All Over. Then they became country. And those guys are still going today. So it's that era that I really feel Sturgill honed his skills on, and he kind of focused on that. And honestly, if you listen to the album, it sounds very much like it was recorded to be put on vinyl. I mean, just being honest, the way it's mixed, the way it's mastered, the way the clarities are, the way the kick drum gives it a little more thump than a bump, and it's made, in my opinion, to play on vinyl. So Wider Shade of Pale is one of my favorite songs of all time. So that was an early highlight for me. From there, you went from Welcome to Earth, Ain't All Flowers, Best Clockmaker on Mars, I Don't Mind, Mint Tea, into Brace for Impact, into Good Look, into LA Woman, which is a Doors cover. That is how many songs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 songs with no break whatsoever. Soak it in. Soak it in, because that is fantastic. Whew. Love it. Love it so much. Let's start with Welcome to Earth on this section. I do feel that was one of the more loud sing-alongs on probably the entire night. I just think it's a slower song, of course, and it's kind of brought down and you can hear more, so that may be the fact that the music wasn't drowning out everyone. It's very possible. But I felt that was my first set of goosebumps, right? Like, I was like, man, this is awesome. So happy I'm here. So pleased. Cannot wait to see what's coming next. It's one of those moments that you got to experience. I can sit here and talk to you for 20 minutes. It's not going to matter. If you weren't there, you won't understand it. Or unless you've experienced a moment like that. But wow, beautiful.
And now I know the reason why.
One thing I say about the Rupp Arena crowd that I took several photos of because I truly didn't believe what I was seeing, and that was there were very few phones being held in the air on the floor. There were plenty on the sides, and I can understand on the sides more so than the floor because you're kind of zooming in, you're trying to get close and see what you're missing. But I will give the crowd credit. On the floor, you didn't see very many phones, very many lights flashing back on people's faces and lighting them up. You didn't see the folks that don't know to turn their flash off when they're trying to do a video above their head. You know, those types. You didn't see a lot of those. That makes me very happy. And that also, I think, is a statement of the fans that Sturgill has. I think that they were there for the right reasons. They were there for the music. And I think it was very respectful. I think it was a very beautiful moment, and I wish all concerts would be that way, honestly. Like, I get tired of trying to peep around and see around somebody's phone because they're holding it up. They're 5'4" and I can see over them, but when they put their hand up, it's right in my eyes. I get tired of that, and I know you do too. So that was a welcome thing. It was a very welcome thing. The first new song that was shared with us was Mint Tea. It's a song that is very, very personal. If you haven't read the lyrics or you haven't heard the song, definitely change that. It's just a beautiful melody. It's a beautiful song that really, really people are connecting with in their hearts. You know, the line of put another Band-Aid on this bullet wound and pour both of us into another cup of that mint tea. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. Coming out of that into Brace for Impact, you would have thought the crowd was dynamite and Sturgill lit the fuse, because man, did they come alive. Whoa. Now, you could see a lot of folks singing along, but you could see so many people bobbing their heads and swaying, and I mean, just completely lost in what was happening on stage. This point in Sturgill's life, he's made his money. He's made up his mind what songs he wants to do, what songs he doesn't want to do. And now, I think it's all about having fun again, right? Like before, I think it was, this album's got to sell this, or the label, they're trying to force me to do this, and I've already done that, so I'm going to throw this anime and this album soundtrack to go along with it. I don't think that he didn't appreciate that album, but I don't know that he would have released it when he released it because of the label. He was just trying to get out of his contract, and ultimately he did. So now, like I say, he's made his money. He's out here, and he played 3.5 hours, people. Well, 3 hours, 27 minutes, and like 55 seconds when the last note hit. And the only reason they stopped there, and he told us, was I got to stop here before they make me pay for the building. In other words, there's a big fine if he breaks that 11:30 curfew. Joe toyed with the crowd when the Long White Line was starting. He'll take it that, take it that, and then the crowd just lost it. That was probably the biggest sing-along of the entire night. And the reason I can say that with confidence is because the band started getting a little louder as the night went on. And so I think as people were drunk and losing their inhibitions, they were singing, but the band kind of kept the level going with everybody and kind of beat down the bad drunk singers. But it was cool, I'm not gonna lie. It was very, very cool, and the crowd was so into it. I mean, you could look on that particular song, everybody was either, swaying or just bobbing their head. Everybody, by that point in the show, the crowd, the stage, the band had congealed as one. Everybody knew the next moves. Everybody felt the next moves. It's hard to explain, but it was incredible to witness. Show me another artist that can play All Around You, Turtles, Living the Dream, Sun Never Rises, and Juanita within 5 songs. Show me another artist that's out there that can show you that variety, can give you that wide range of music. I don't know that they're out there. I really don't know. Sure, there's country bands that sing rock. There's rock bands that sing country. There's pop stars, Post Malone, that's put out new country albums. But no one can seamlessly go from genre to genre with as much ease and confidence as Sturgill Simpson. It's probably the secret sauce for Sturgill in his career. He always says High Top Mountain was basically a Waylon Jennings record, right? He wrote a Waylon Jennings record. And while he appreciates a lot of the songs on there, some of the songs, they're not who he is anymore. And so he's evolved as an artist, but he was kind of pigeonholed in the beginning with that album. So he kept expanding with the next releases. And we've gotten a straight up rock and roll record. We've got 3 bluegrass albums. We've got several country albums. And then we've got this new straight up 70s rock / psychedelic country / I don't know, fucking awesome. That's all I can say about it. And I don't know anybody else that's out there that could do that, right? Like, it's pretty special. It's pretty friggin' special. Turtles All the Way Down was probably the first song that was an instant recognition, other than Long White Line, like I spoke of earlier. When Turtles started, I don't think there's anybody in there not singing, and that's a beautiful thing to witness. You won't get that in every city, but what you will get is big, huge smiles on the people you love and you helped push to become who they are. There's no better feeling than that. And I caught multiple times, I was sitting basically directly side stage. A big light was in the way of Sturgill's head for most of my show. Didn't care. I wasn't there to see Sturgill. I was there to hear Sturgill. I was there to feel the band. I was there to have this shared experience with the people that love the music that I love, my adoptive music family, if you will. And Turtles was that moment for the entire crowd.
I've seen Jesus clear flame, they could find I was standing. Let the devil wait, see and spit 9 months inside my eyes. Let go there another time, showed me growing like the thing.
I just think back, and I mean, even what few you could see illuminated up in the upper sections, in the upper deck, they were singing along, right? Which to me, again, is a testament. You don't have to have a $200 seat. You don't have to have a $30 seat. You just have to be in the building. It doesn't matter where you sit. The music is what matters. And that is the point that I want you to really, really take home about this tour. If you have not seen this tour, which it's only been going, what, 2 weeks, get off your ass and buy the tickets. You can thank me later. You're going to get 3 hours, very little talking, the occasional joke, but you're going to see some of the best musicians doing the thing today. And that's not something you should miss, okay? Everything going forward, you're going to compare to this show and you're going to be like, man, they were good, but they weren't as good as Sturgill. Sturgill is the GOAT, a GOAT, many GOATs that come from Kentucky. We could name Merle Travis. We could name the Everly Brothers. We could name Tyler Childers, who Sturgill helped become Tyler Childers. Sturgill, Chris Stapleton, Dwight Yoakam, Patty Loveless, Ricky Skaggs, Keith Whitley. I mean, I would put that line up right there against any other state that's ever had music released. I know people are going to say, oh, Texas. Yeah, Texas, pretty awesome. I'll take my mint tea, pretend I'm not going to have that argument. After Juanita and the Fastest Horse, quickly, which I don't know if it was intentional or not, Sturgill brought the energy level straight down. And what he did, he basically just said, I wrote this song about my friend killing herself. I was in Paris. And I mean, it was like cold water. You're like, oh, I better listen. Now, I don't think that was his full intent, but if it was, that's brilliant, because everybody there was like, tell me more. Let me hear what you have to say. Tell me your story. You have my full attention. And that was probably my favorite performance of the night. Not because of the song or the melody or whatever. I love all of Sturgill's music. But it was that specific moment when he brought everyone back to earth. And he reminded us the world is a tough place to survive, right? And it was like I say, I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, because I mean, it was like cold water, but Lord have mercy. Everybody was just clinging on every word. And I just know in my heart that if that wasn't his intended action, he was glad it happened, because you could tell as he sang it, it was freeing, and he enjoyed the listening part. I really do believe that. I mean, you write music for people to listen to and to interpret for whatever that means for themselves. And I think that is probably the most beautiful performance of the night because of that. Intentional or not, you got everyone's attention. And that's hard to do, especially 2.5 hours into a 3.5 hour set, right? Everybody's like, I gotta pee. You need another beer? Whatever. You see people doing that. Me and my son, we got there an hour before, sat in our seats, didn't move till the show was over. We were there for the music. And I think a lot of folks were that night. And that's why, like I say, I don't know intentional or not, but when he brought that mood down, man, it completely changed everything, and it was awesome. I don't really know how else to tell you that, but it was a moment. And I don't think it was planned personally. Beautiful.
It's about a friend of mine that killed herself. Found out when I was in Paris. All right.
Coming out of that, he gave us the new tune, Scooter Blues, which kind of sounds like maybe if Sturgill wrote a song for Jimmy Buffett. He's going to scooter his blues away, you know. He's going to put on his flip-flops or go for a run and do all these things. It sounds like he's retired or living on a beach somewhere. It's a beautiful song, it's a fun song, and the crowd really appreciated it. And that was to be such a new song, it was a pretty loud sing-along. It was pretty cool. It was really pretty cool. Life of Sin is the next song I want to talk about. That song was the gut punch, right? That's the one. He came out of Jupiter's Ferry and Scooter's Blues and into that, and it was a song that everybody knew. Everybody was singing along, and he was like, "Okay, I'm giving you what you came for." You know, it's a great song. Everyone's singing along. Now you've got what you came for. It's time for me to give you what I came for. And what he came for was One for the Road, Purple Rain, and Call to Arms. Holy shit. I just go see this friggin' show, guys. Do it. Just do it. One for the Road was fantastic. It was new, kind of had a vibe without changing tempos, without doing everything, bringing the music down just a little bit. And right into Purple Rain, and you could just see Sturgill having so much fun singing Purple Rain. Who doesn't love that freaking song? He was just having a blast. Minus the busting of instruments, He gave us pretty close to the Saturday Night Live performance called Arms. He was feeling it. He was feeling it, people. And he did not want to quit. He was, I bet you, had there not been a curfew and the union rules or whatever, the staff would have cost him X amount of dollars, whatever. If it wasn't absolutely astronomical, which obviously it was, I think the man would have played another 2 hours. He was just having fun. It was like, hey, y'all sit down on my front porch. Let's pick a few tunes. And that's what it felt like. It really did. It was like, okay, I'm happy. I'm here. I'm with the guys that helped make me who I am. We're having fun. We're a band. That's why Sturgill was there. It was one of the best concerts I've ever seen. And let me preface this, I'm not tooting my own horn. I've seen over 1,000 shows and probably well over 2,000 artists over time. And I've seen Sturgill, I don't know. I've seen him 5 times. And the other times that I saw Sturgill, he was fantastic. But they fell short of this band, this lineup, this tour. It's the best he's ever sounded. You can tell he's protective of his voice, but he's where he wants to be in life. I truly believe that. He's happy. And when he's happy, when he's having fun, everybody else is.
Thank you very much.
So go see this tour. Don't hesitate. Look at the prices and say, where can I donate plasma? You don't want to miss this. I don't know if this Johnny Blue Skies continues as a band. I hope it does. But you don't want to miss this tour. I mean, the least amount of time he's played on this tour is just under 3 hours. There's no openers. All you're getting, start to finish, Sturgill Simpson. So, almost 8:01, right at 8:01 is when they started the set, 8:01 p.m. 11:27 and 55 seconds, I do believe, is when someone documented the last note was rang out. You may not get 3.5 hours, but you're going to get close to 3 at least, and you're gonna realize it's worth every single dime that you paid to be there. So just do it.